Since its debut in 1998, Initial D has left an indelible mark on both pop culture and the automotive world. What began as a manga series by Shuichi Shigeno quickly evolved into a global phenomenon, captivating not only anime enthusiasts, but also car lovers and motorsport fans worldwide. Initial D tapped into the heart of street racing, particularly the niche but exciting world of touge racing and drifting. Its story, centered around the young Takumi Fujiwara and his mastery of the Toyota AE86 on the treacherous roads of Mount Akina, captured the imaginations of viewers across continents, blending thrilling racing action with a deep personal narrative about self-discovery, skill, and passion. What sets Initial D apart is its accuracy in depicting car culture, its attention to detail in driving techniques, vehicle mechanics, and the bond between driver and machine. At a time when car culture was rapidly growing around the world, Initial D introduced a new level of authenticity, allowing it to resonate not just with anime fans, but with car enthusiasts of all kinds. This anime became a key driver in the popularization of drifting, influencing professional motorsports, car customization, and even the mainstreaming of JDM vehicles in the West. From underground street races in Japan to car meets in the United States, Initial D contributed to a cross-cultural exchange that shaped a global car scene. The anime's influence extended far beyond its original medium, inspiring real-world events, automotive trends, and a dedicated fanbase that still thrives today. Whether it's the iconic AE86 becoming a symbol of the sleeper, car culture, or the rise of drift competitions in the West, Initial D stands as one of the most culturally significant anime in automotive history. Initial D is, at its core, an anime about a relatively niche subculture, Japanese street racing, particularly drifting. However, it tapped into universal themes that resonated with audiences far beyond Japan. The story of a young underdog, discovering his extraordinary driving skills, combined with the thrill of competitive racing, appealed to a wide range of viewers. The anime's grounded, real-world setting, focused on cars and racing, made it accessible to both anime fans and people who might not typically watch Japanese animation. Its global appeal was bolstered by its accurate depiction of car culture and the technicalities of racing, which attracted car enthusiasts. The anime presented racing not just as a high-speed competition, but as an art form, requiring skill, technique, and a deep understanding of one's vehicle. This nuanced approach drew in gearheads and racing aficionados from around the world. It made significant waves in the West, particularly during the 2000s when it was localized and introduced to Western audiences through subtitled and dubbed versions. This was during a time when anime was gaining mainstream traction in regions like North America and Europe, with series like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto leading the way. However, Initial D stood out by offering something different from the usual action-adventure fare. It brought the world of cars, racing, and drift culture to the forefront. The release of Initial D games, particularly in arcade cabinets, in places like the US, Canada, and Europe, helped solidify its presence in the West. These games featured the anime's signature high-octane racing and drift mechanics, allowing Western audiences to experience firsthand the adrenaline that the anime was known for. At the same time, the anime's influence spread into cartooning and racing scenes in the West. The anime helped cultivate a deeper appreciation for Japanese cars, particularly JDM vehicles, among Western car enthusiasts. Importing JDM cars, which were previously seen as niche or inaccessible, became more popular, with models like the Nissan Skyline, Honda NSX, and, of course, the AE86 gaining cult status. Initial D also helped fuel the integration of car culture into mainstream pop culture. In the early 2000s, as car customization and street racing became more widely celebrated in films, music videos, and games, Initial D was at the forefront of this movement. The anime's influence can be traced to Western franchises like the Fast and the Furious series, particularly in Tokyo Drift, which brought drift racing into Hollywood and popularized it globally. Eurobeat music, which is used throughout the anime to accompany the high-speed races, became a meme and an anthem for racing enthusiasts. It became so iconic that even people who weren't necessarily anime fans began associating the energetic, pulsating beats with car culture, thanks in part to Initial D. Today, Eurobeat music often serves as a nostalgic throwback to the anime's races and continues to appear in memes, videos, and fan edits on social media. Perhaps no single car in modern history has been more influenced by an anime than the Toyota AE86 by Initial D. The AE86 went from a relatively obscure Japanese car to an internationally recognized symbol of the sleeper car, a vehicle that might not look like much, but with the right driver and tuning, can outperform far more powerful cars. In countries like the US, Canada, and Australia, where Japanese car imports grew steadily, the demand for AE86S increased. Car enthusiasts viewed it as the quintessential tuner's car, thanks to its lightweight frame, rear-wheel drive setup, and versatility. Even today, the AE86 is highly sought after by collectors, racers, and Initial D fans alike, with prices skyrocketing for well-maintained models or modified versions reminiscent of the anime's iconic Panda Trueno. One of the anime's lasting legacies is the community it fostered within car culture. Initial D has united car enthusiasts across borders, with fans from Japan, the US, Europe, and beyond bonding over their love of the anime and its portrayal of racing. This has been reflected in the growth of touge-style events outside Japan, where racers gather to emulate the thrill of racing on narrow, winding mountain roads. Car meets, conventions, and anime festivals have also incorporated Initial D-themed gatherings, where fans showcase their cars, cosplay as characters, and celebrate the shared passion for both anime and automotive culture. Online forums, fan communities, and YouTube channels continue to discuss and analyze the anime's impact on real-world driving techniques, car modification, and the global appeal of Japanese racing culture. Although Initial D concluded both its anime and manga runs, its influence lives on in contemporary racing and drifting scenes. Many professional drifters and racers have credited the anime as their introduction to the sport, including well-known figures in motorsports who have openly praised its role in inspiring them to take up competitive drifting. The D1 Grand Prix, a professional drifting series in Japan, saw a surge in interest internationally due to Initial D, with many drivers mentioning how the anime shaped their early understanding of the sport. As professional drift competitions spread globally, with events in North America, Europe, and Asia, Initial D's cultural shadow loomed large, pushing the sport into mainstream motorsport culture. Despite being over 2 decades ago, Initial D maintains a dedicated fanbase worldwide. The anime's episodic release format, focusing on specific car races and techniques, has allowed it to age well, with each race being memorable in its own right. New fans are continually introduced to the series through streaming platforms, social media, and word of mouth within car and anime communities. There has also been renewed interest in the series with spiritual successors like MF Ghost, which is set in the same universe and features many elements that made Initial D successful. The continued relevance of drifting, car modification, and the growing enthusiasm for JDM cars ensure that Initial D will remain a touchstone for both car enthusiasts and anime fans for years to come. Initial D is far more than just an anime. It is a cultural milestone that bridged the worlds of Japanese street racing and global car culture. By introducing the thrilling art of drifting and street racing to a worldwide audience, it left a profound impact on the automotive community, inspiring professional drivers, car enthusiasts, and even casual viewers. The anime's ability to translate the nuances of touge racing and car tuning into an engaging and emotional narrative made it a driving force behind the popularization of drifting as a motorsport and contributed to the rise of JDM cars as cultural icons. Its influence transcends generations and geographical boundaries. What started as a niche anime about mountain racing evolved into a global sensation that brought Japanese car culture into the mainstream. The popularity of cars like the Toyota AE86, Nissan Skyline, and Mazda RX-7 exploded thanks to the series, forever linking these vehicles with the legacy of Initial D. More than just promoting cars and racing, it cultivated a spirit of innovation and passion, encouraging fans around the world to invest in their own cars, join car meets, and participate in events inspired by the anime. Beyond the technical aspects, Initial D resonated because of its portrayal of perseverance, skill, and the emotional connection between a driver and their machine. It's a story about self-discovery, pushing limits, and mastering one's craft, all themes that resonate with car enthusiasts, racers, and everyday people alike. Takumi Fujiwara's journey from a reluctant tofu delivery driver to a drifting prodigy embodies the universal appeal of overcoming challenges through dedication and passion, an ethos that continues to inspire fans and professionals alike. Even decades after its debut, Initial D remains a cultural touchstone. From professional drivers who cite it as an influence on their careers to global drift competitions that owe much of their popularity to the anime, its legacy continues to shape the future of car culture. Its enduring presence in racing games, fan communities, and modern media ensures that new generations will discover and appreciate the world of street racing and drifting that Initial D so expertly showcased. Initial D did more than just depict races. It cultivated a global movement. It transformed the way people view cars, not just as machines, but as extensions of a driver's spirit and skill. The anime brought a sense of artistry and passion to motorsports that transcended language and culture, creating a lasting legacy that will continue to inspire drivers and car enthusiasts for years to come. Whether through the roar of an AE86 engine or the thrill of a perfectly executed drift, the influence of Initial D on car culture will remain as timeless and enduring as the races it so vividly portrayed.